Welcome back, everybody. So my videoing last night ended up having to stop simply because, well, I don't know what happened. So here's the continuation of the detail work of this idea that I had with a sketch. If you remember, my sketch started with this, got transformed to this, and now I'm finishing up with my detail brush here and my lovely soupy paint here. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the first half of this video, and now let's see if I can bring this to a conclusion here. So as I said, I was videoing away, not a problem, and all of a sudden I realized I'm talking and there was nothing going on. So but you know what? That's all good. Life happens like that. So here is my telemark style, and as I was saying, I really enjoy doing telemark. There's a lot of freedom with it, and I like to just add as much as I can. So sometimes I add a little too much. But isn't that the case with life? Sometimes you go a little overboard. So I've learned how to try to become a little more economical with my strokes. It's not always successful. Sometimes I still go a little too crazy, but that's okay. All right, let's bring some nice detail lines over here. So again, normally I use my warm white here for doing my detail, but my warm white is a little dead and I really need to put an order in. And as I mentioned in my last video, I'm using the Delta Ceramcoat Light Ivory. And I added a medium that I mixed in my little container here. And that medium again was glaze medium, retarder, and flow 1 to 1 to 1. So that is something I learned many years ago from a wonderful artist named Arlene Newman. Those of you who are decorative artists out there will know her. And she and I were in a Rosemaling group together in New Jersey. And when I started my journey with learning how to work with acrylics, she was there with me and gave me some wonderful advice. Now, my first acrylic class in Rosemaling was actually with a fantastic Rosemaler named Karen Jensen, and that was many years ago. And I still refer back to the notes that I took in her class. And then my work with acrylic has taken on in other classes, but a lot of it is just experimentation at home and working with it and playing with the brush and the colors. The best way for anybody to learn and grow in anything they start to do is really to just play with it. Practice. And isn't that the key in life with anything? You can't expect things to just happen automatically. You need to work at it. There's a book out there called Outliers. And you know, they say it's 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. I don't know how many hours I have. I definitely have more than 10,000. But I wouldn't say that I'm an expert, because there's always so much more to learn. But I'm happy to share what I know, and as I learn more, I plan on sharing that, because the only way that art continues is if you share it. You know, I'm not going to keep any secrets with how I do things, and sometimes I don't even realize how I paint or how I come up with stuff. Usually the best way is when people ask me questions and I have to explain it, and then I have to actually think about, oh, wait, that's how I do things. I don't know if you could see it, but I do have a line chalked in around the outside of this frame in order to keep me within the confines of the design. You know, you don't want to bring stuff too far out. It looks a little too cluttered then. So I'm trying to remember to keep it close in. Let's see how much of this we can do today. right, let's bring this around this way. So, thank you for joining me on my YouTube journey. I started this, about 6 or 7 months ago, and I'm still learning. So, I'm definitely not a proficient YouTuber as of yet, but, I hope you enjoy my little mishaps and not quite professionalism yet, but, I'm working on it. I have so much to learn. Again, it comes down to practice, like what I said. If you have something you're interested in doing, take the time. Even if it's just, 10, 15 minutes a day. Spend a little time with you and what interests you. Myself, a lot of times I'm fitting it in. I am a busy mom with 3 kids, though one of them is away at college. That doesn't mean they are still not involved. I have one that's a junior in high school, so that's busy, and I have one who's a 7th grader, and he's super busy. They, between music and sports and all sorts of stuff, so I spend a lot of time in my car. It's like Lisa sightings around. When even your pizza delivery guy sees you flying around in your car, you know you're out a lot. So, my time spent in my studio and what I get done is done in bits and pieces. People have asked me over the years, they don't know how I've gotten stuff done, and you know what? It's faith, sheer will, and determination. When you have that faith that you can do it, and I pray all the time, Lord, give me strength. And when you have the determination, you can make it work. My little paper towel's getting in my way here. Let's see how far we can get around. Now, I'm going a little faster than maybe I would ordinarily to get this done, but I'm hoping to show you as much of this as possible. Now, remember, again, with the brush, as I've shown you guys in the past, it's like an airplane. I'm starting off, the plane is coming in for a landing, and then I can push it down and let it come up for a stop. Bring it down for a landing. Oh wait, maybe we're taking off again. And I can bring it up to the point, bring it around and up. Okay. So it's all about pressure on the tip of your brush. I can bring it down and up, down and up. So this fine little brush, which is a King Art 10-0 original gold medium length liner, I can go thick to thin. I don't have enough paint on my brush, and I could just kind of play with it. It's very magical to watch, isn't it? All right, let's see what more I can do here. It is very soothing. It can also be very frustrating, but isn't that what life's about? Not everything in life should be easy. You got to enjoy the journey with it. Let's see, there's a C stroke that came around this way. Let's give it a little definition there. There we go. It's come around this way. All right. Yes, life's been a little interesting here lately, so it makes it interesting for me to get stuff done, and I squeeze it in. My dad has had a little bit of a issue going on, but that's okay. All right, let's come around this way and around. All right, let's come this way here. Again, if you remember, I've said it in the past, I always move my piece so I can pull my brush strokes towards me. Oh, I like how that one looked. Let's bring this around here. Now, I don't outline or detail around every single thing. When you go around every single little bit and telemark, then it looks very stripy. You don't want it to look stripy, Okay, let's come around this way. Here we go. Let's get a little cross hatching in there. That's fun to do. All right, if you enjoy what you're watching with my work, please take a moment to hit that red button and subscribe. You know, here's that thing about me being new to YouTube. I always seem to forget to say, hey, take a moment and subscribe. You know, I have my next upcoming video, hopefully this one will be completed, will actually be in base coating and sanding and base coating your woodenware, because Rosemaling most of the time is done on wood, though I've spent time painting on canvas and glasses and ornaments and all sorts of stuff. But wood is really your main piece that you're working on, so it is important to know how to work on your surfaces. Here we go, bring a little leaf down that way, nice and airy. This was a fun color palette to work with. Let's come this way. Go around my sepal here. Again, remember, it's based on nature, it's based on flowers, but they're kind of fantasy flowers. Let's come around this way. If you notice, I use my arm as a brace. I like to be on top of this. If I'm down here, I can't get the flow as I can when I'm on top of this. Sometimes I go really high if I have a long distance to go. Here, you know, I'm staying pretty close to the frame. Now this frame I got quite a while ago at Michael's. So as you bounce around, you see different pieces at different craft shows. Sometimes you'll find stuff at yard sales. There's good suppliers for wooden plates and different things, which reminds me I have some orders that I have to put in. Let's see here. Let's bring this. All right. There we go. Because our flowers need to be connected to the root, right? Here's our root. Everything's coming off of this. Let's see here. Maybe a couple little dots in there. All right. Again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining me on my Rosemaling journey. I think it's kind of fun to share this. Rosemaling's been around for 300 plus years. So I'd like to see it continue for many more years after that. All right, let's come around this way. I'm working on Hollandall designs also, and I'll bring that to video form for you. Hollandall designs, which I had started to show you guys, are much more symmetrical. So I did a grid with this, and I'll show you the development of a design. I fortunately work with a company called Gift Chalet Auburn out of Massachusetts, and they bring my artwork to life on mugs and tiles and all sorts of things, magnets. So it's kind of a preview of what's coming with them. I gotta get some more work done for them. All right, let's see here. All right, kind of see where, I hope I got that in there. Try to keep track. So my husband did buy me 3 cameras. I need to learn how to set those cameras up. And then I have to work on editing. Oh boy. We'll see how that works. Well, if you stay with me on the long haul on this journey, then you can let me know how I'm doing on that as time goes on. So I'm kind of doing these little dot things here because it just kind of completes the frame here. Oh, let's get to this guy here. Now I still have some stuff to add over here. My palette again is a wet palette, so my paints are still alive from when I first started this project. Here we go. Yeah, so hopefully when I get the 3 cameras set up, then we can get a little more close up with this. You know, again, it's all a journey. Life is never dull. Let's come back up here. You know, as I look around, I see, oh, okay, this little happy little stroke needs to be done here. Let's get this in here. Now here, I had done this before, but I don't like what I did. It's almost too thin in there. So I want a little more contrast because it makes it interesting. And part of that could be too because acrylics dry darker than when it first goes down. Okay. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Nice little stroke there. Okay. Bring it around here. So far, it's early in the morning here, so it's quiet upstairs. I keep waiting to hear my fluffy Chloe, my Pekingese Shih Tzu rescue. I'm out of her sight right now. She's still hopefully sleeping. I don't hear her barking. I joke around that I need a red vest that says emotional support human. She doesn't let me out of her sight too much. Let's see here. I'll have to share a picture of her and my Boston Terrier, Reuben, my companions. All right, come around this way. Well, I hope you all enjoy watching these pieces come to life. As I said, I planned on having more instructional videos coming. I'm looking to possibly start a something on Skillshare. Oh, hold on, cup of coffee. Oh, okay. That Gift Chalet Auburn. Here's an idea of what they do with my work. Kind of neat, right? Okay, let's see. Little cup of coffee. Let's get a little bit more done up here. All right, I like my cross hatching today. Sometimes you just get in the habit of doing something over and over again. But it completes it, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's funny, when you do an element like that, you want to do them in odd numbers, not even. And I can't remember the psychological reasoning behind that, but it actually looks more pleasing when it's at an odd portion than an even portion. So now I have 5 of those, so if I add another, that is 6, then I'll have to add a 7th. But I kind of like the theme with that. Let's pull this around here. We'll get a little guy there. 1, 2, 3. Pull this. Let's pull this way. All right. The other thing I have a lot of now is those dots. They're kind of connecting strokes together. Another way to connect strokes together are little lines. Let's see if I can get that in there. Well, I think I did put it down in there. They still look kind of dotty though. Okay, let's come this way. Here we go. Add some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have coming into the corner. It kind of gives the shape that I'm looking for here. Okay, hopefully I'm not making you guys dizzy as I turn this around. We'll come this way. Here we go. Has a nice little feel to that. Little lines. All right. Okay, my friends. Well, this gives you an idea of how a piece comes together. It's a nice frame. Obviously, I still have a little bit more to do in there, but I'll post a picture of that when it's all done. I hope you enjoyed this journey with my Rosemaling on this telemark piece. And please feel free to subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please add them on. And if I can answer them, I certainly shall. Have a great day, and remember, it's just paint. Take care.